Welcome to another Deep Dive.
Oh, yeah?
We're tackling the world of entrepreneurship in the digital age today.
Okay.
You shared some fascinating excerpts from a YouTube interview with Daniel Priestley.
Right.
He really seems to know his stuff when it comes to building successful businesses.
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of unpack his insights with you.
Yeah.
And see what we can find, what gems we can uncover.
So Priestley paints a really compelling picture, I think, of how the entrepreneurial landscape has been transformed. It's not just about adapting to new technology. It's about understanding a whole new set of rules.
He talks about this shift from the industrial age to the digital age, where personal brands are starting to eclipse traditional institutions.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Diane Cox has a larger following than CERN.
Wow.
Elon Musk seems to be overshadowing NASA in many ways.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, it highlights a fascinating paradox.
Okay.
In a world that's dominated by algorithms and impersonal corporations,
Right.
we're actually craving more human connection. And people like Brian Cox and Elon Musk, they've mastered the art of building parasocial relationships.
Okay.
Those one-sided bonds that we form with figures we admire, even if we've never met them.
Since it's not just about being a celebrity.
Right.
It's about building that kind of recognition and trust with your audience, whoever they may be.
Exactly.
But how do you do that effectively?
Yeah.
Especially when everyone's vying for attention online.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Priestley calls this building parasocial relationships at scale.
Okay.
And he suggests a formula, the 7-11-4 hack.
Okay.
7 hours of content, 11 interactions across 4 platforms.
Okay.
He argues that this consistent exposure creates a sense of familiarity, almost like knowing the person behind the brand.
Okay, I see where he's going with this, but I'm a little skeptical.
Go on.
Is it really as simple as just churning out content?
Right.
And interacting on social media?
Yeah.
That sounds exhausting.
It does, doesn't it?
And frankly, a bit superficial.
Well, you're right to question that. It's not just about quantity. It's about quality and intention.
Okay.
The content needs to be valuable.
Right.
The interaction's genuine, and the platform's chosen strategically.
So it's about building a genuine connection.
Yes.
Not just racking up numbers.
It is.
But even with the right approach,
Yeah.
isn't it incredibly difficult to cut through the noise?
Absolutely. So Priestley uses this brilliant analogy of a busy street.
Okay.
Most people blend into the background.
Yeah.
But you remember the person in a hot dog costume?
Right.
Or the one offering free samples?
Okay.
And he identifies 5 key elements that grab attention.
Okay.
Scary.
Okay.
Strange, sexy, free value.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Can't get the free value part.
Right.
That's something we strive for with this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Providing high-quality insights without any cost to the listener.
Absolutely.
But what about the others?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Is he suggesting we need to shock or titillate our audience to be successful?
No, not necessarily. It's more about understanding the underlying psychology of attention.
Okay.
So scary could be highlighting a problem your audience fears. Sexy could be showcasing aspirational results.
Right.
And strange could be offering a unique perspective.
So it's about tapping into emotions and curiosity.
It is.
To pique people's interest.
Exactly.
But what about the familiar element?
Yeah.
Isn't that contradictory to standing out?
Well, it's about building a sense of recognition and trust. People are drawn to what they know and understand.
Yeah.
Think about your favorite brands. You likely feel a sense of comfort and familiarity with them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not just trying to be different for the sake of being different.
No.
You're building on a foundation of familiarity.
Yes.
While still offering something unique and valuable.
Exactly.
But all this brand building is useless.
Yeah.
If you don't have a product or service people actually want.
Right.
How can entrepreneurs know if their idea has legs
Yeah.
before investing time and money?
It's a good question, isn't it?
It is.
Well, Priestley is adamant about testing demand before supply.
Okay.
He suggests productizing the demo and customer needs analysis.
Okay.
So instead of building a full-fledged product, offer a sneak peek, a behind-the-scenes look, or a detailed explanation of what you're building. You can even sell this preview.
So instead of jumping in head first,
Right.
you're dipping your toes in the water to gauge interest.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have an example of how this might work in the real world?
He uses the example of a coffee brand focused on boosting libido.
Okay.
They might offer a presentation showcasing the research and branding and conduct a customer needs analysis at different retail locations to gauge interest before investing heavily in production.
That's a really smart approach.
Yeah.
I can see how this productized demo concept could be applied in various industries.
Right.
From software to consulting.
Absolutely.
It takes the guesswork out of product development.
It does.
Exactly. You're essentially gathering data and feedback every step of the way.
You are.
And speaking of data,
Yes.
Priestley has a great hack for testing things like book titles or product names.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
Go on.
He hires a team of psychics to read people's minds.
Not quite. He
Okay.
uses targeted Facebook ads to see which titles generate the most clicks.
Okay.
It's like a mini market research study,
Oh.
all done through Facebook.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
You're basically letting the data tell you what resonates with your audience.
You are.
It's a much more scientific approach than just going with your gut.
It is.
Precisely.
And this data-driven approach isn't limited to product development. Priestley's a huge advocate for publishing, particularly writing.
Wait, does he think everyone should be an author?
Well,
Even if they're not aspiring novelists?
he emphasizes the transformative power of writing for accelerating learning and idea development.
Okay.
He even reveals his own secret hack of tweeting daily and how it led to unexpected success.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this Twitter magic.
So Priestley committed to tweeting daily at 7 p.m., sharing his thoughts and insights. He even screenshotted and posted these on Instagram.
Interesting.
And this simple action had a ripple effect.
Okay. I can see how that would force you to think clearly and express yourself concisely. But what were these downstream consequences?
So first, he amassed a huge following on Instagram.
Wow.
Purely by sharing his ideas.
Okay.
Second, it honed his ability to communicate effectively.
Right.
But the most profound effect, according to Priestley, was the daily practice of distilling his experiences into wisdom.
Interesting.
It forced him to reflect and extract meaning from his daily life.
It sounds like a powerful form of self-discovery.
Yeah.
Almost like journaling in public.
Exactly.
But for someone who's just starting out, it can feel daunting to put yourself out there, especially in a public forum like Twitter.
Yeah.
What advice does he have for overcoming that initial hurdle?
He stresses that you don't have to be perfect or have all the answers to start creating and sharing.
Okay.
It's about embracing the process, learning as you go, and being open to feedback.
So it's about shifting your mindset from being a consumer to a creator.
That's a crucial shift for entrepreneurs in the digital age.
Okay.
And it ties into another key point, finding your entrepreneurial sweet spot.
I'm all for anything sweet.
No.
Tell me more about this sweet spot and how to find it.
So he uses a Venn diagram model with 3 overlapping circles: passion, problem, and payment. The idea is to find something you're passionate about that solves a real problem for others and that people are willing to pay for.
So it's about finding that intersection where your skills and market demand align?
Exactly.
But here's the nuance.
Yeah.
Don't chase extremes in any single area.
Right.
He cautions against pursuing only passion, only profit, or only intellectual challenge.
Yeah.
It's about finding a balance.
It is.
Where all 3 intersects.
Yeah.
That sweet spot where personal fulfillment and financial success coexist.
He emphasizes the importance of balance and compromise.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're only chasing money, you're likely to burn out.
Probably.
But if you're only following your passion without any regard for practicality, you might end up struggling to make ends meet.
It's about finding the opportunity that aligns with your values, your goals, and lifestyle.
That's a really valuable insight.
Yeah.
It reminds us that entrepreneurship isn't just about building a business.
No.
It's about building a life.
It is.
Absolutely.
And that leads us to another crucial question.
Okay.
What kind of opportunities are you pursuing?
Is there a right or wrong kind of opportunity?
Well, Priestley distinguishes between bell curve opportunities and power law opportunities.
Okay.
Bell curve opportunities are those with limited growth potential, often confined to traditional industries and career paths.
So like working your way up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
You might get a promotion.
I might.
But you're unlikely to become a multimillionaire.
Unlikely. Power law opportunities, on the other hand, have the potential for exponential growth.
Okay.
Think of them as rockets taking off. The sky's the limit.
That sounds exciting.
It does, doesn't it?
But how do you spot a power law opportunity?
Yeah.
They must be rare and difficult to come by.
Well, they usually involve leverage, famed capital networks, technology, something that breaks you free from traditional limitations.
So instead of trading time for money, you're leveraging resources to amplify your efforts.
Exactly.
And create something with the potential to scale rapidly.
Yeah.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
About thinking bigger, bolder.
Yeah.
And utilizing the tools of the digital age. To create something truly impactful.
It is.
This is starting to paint a very compelling picture of how entrepreneurship has evolved.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. What does this mean for the old rules of business?
Yeah.
Are they totally obsolete?
Well, Priestley argues that the focus is shifting from labor and skills to intellectual property, media, data, and software.
Okay.
It's not about what you can do, but what you can create and own.
So instead of just selling your time and effort,
Exactly.
you're building assets that generate value over the long term.
Yeah.
And this ties into a powerful concept he highlights.
Go on.
Building a business as a financial asset.
Yeah.
Something that could be sold.
Exactly.
You're not just building a job for yourself.
No.
You're building something with real value that can generate wealth beyond traditional income streams.
It's a mindset shift.
It is.
From working in your business to working on your business.
But this also raises a question for me.
Go on.
If everyone starts focusing on building these sellable businesses, won't it become increasingly difficult to stand out?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
The competition is fierce.
Yeah.
And it's constantly evolving.
Right.
But Priestley argues that this is where the importance of environment comes in.
Okay.
He has a simple but profound principle.
Okay.
Environment dictates performance.
You're saying that our surroundings have a direct impact on our actions.
They do.
And ultimately our success.
Absolutely.
If you surround yourself with people who think small, you're likely to think small too.
Yeah.
But if you immerse yourself in an environment where people are building big things, thinking creatively, and pushing boundaries, it becomes contagious.
It does.
It's like the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
That's right.
If you want to achieve great things, surround yourself with greatness.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And Priestley offers some actionable advice on how to change your environment.
Okay.
Seek out higher physical spaces. Connect with people a few steps ahead of you. And enroll in courses or accelerators.
Right.
So it's about being proactive and intentional about the environments we choose to inhabit and the people we choose to surround ourselves with.
Absolutely.
Precisely. And sometimes even a small change can make a world of difference.
It can.
This is all incredibly insightful.
Good.
But it's also a lot to process.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface of Priestley's ideas.
I agree.
I'm ready to dive even deeper.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll delve into some of the specific strategies and insights that Priestley shares for succeeding in this new entrepreneurial landscape. We'll talk about the power of free value, the rise of personal brands, the importance of data, and the art of building businesses that can be sold.
Good stuff.
We'll also tackle the big question, how can you leverage these insights to create a successful and fulfilling entrepreneurial journey in this exciting new world?
Good. Welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
Let's dive into some of the specific strategies that Priestley shares for succeeding in today's entrepreneurial landscape. He highlights something really interesting. The power of giving away free value.
We touched on this earlier with the scary, strange, sexy, free, familiar framework.
We did.
But it seems counterintuitive.
It does.
Why would you give something valuable away for free?
Right.
Isn't that bad for business?
It might seem that way at first glance, but Priestley argues that it's a crucial differentiator in a crowded market. Think about it. Consumers are bombarded with messages and offers constantly.
It's true. It's information overload. How do you even get noticed amidst all the noise?
Well, by offering something valuable. With no strings attached. You immediately capture attention. And build trust. It's like a sample at a grocery store.
You try it. You like it.
You like it.
You buy it.
You buy it.
It's a classic marketing tactic.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just getting people in the door. Priestley argues that providing free value establishes you as an authority and a generous resource. It positions you as someone who genuinely wants to help, not just make a quick buck.
So you're not just selling a product or service. You're building a relationship based on trust and shared value.
Precisely.
And that's much more powerful than any sales pitch or marketing campaign.
Absolutely.
It's about building a loyal following.
It is.
Who believe in what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's like the old saying, people buy from people they like and trust.
Exactly.
And this principle applies even at the highest levels of business. Priestley talks about how major CEOs are now realizing the importance of being more human and accessible.
He mentioned Trump going on podcasts like Joe Rogan and Alex Cooper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during the 2024 election.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a great example of how the game is changing.
I think so.
Voters are tired of scripted sound bites and polished PR.
Yeah.
They want to see the real person behind the title.
Absolutely.
So CEOs need to drop the corporate jargon and connect with people on a personal level.
Precisely.
And Priestley believes that long-form unscripted content is the key.
I think so.
He even predicts that the biggest CEOs in the world will be clamoring to get on podcasts like this one.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's kind of prediction.
It is.
So what's his advice for these CEOs who want to win over the public and build trust?
Well, he recommends a strategy he calls the podcast pyramid.
Okay.
He encourages entrepreneurs and CEOs to start by appearing on smaller podcasts, gradually working their way up to bigger and more influential shows.
So build your way up, kind of like an apprenticeship.
Exactly.
And he suggests a minimum goal of creating 10 to 20 hours of watch time.
Right.
Through podcast appearances each year. It's about getting your message out there consistently.
It is.
And engaging in authentic conversations.
Absolutely.
So it's not about being a polished performer.
No.
It's about being genuine and sharing your story, your insights, and your vision.
Exactly.
And this principle of authenticity extends to all forms of content creation.
I think so.
Priestley highlights the importance of clear communication frameworks to help you articulate your ideas effectively.
Absolutely.
He shared one called Name, Same, Fame, Aim, Aim.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Break it down for us.
So it's a simple but powerful way to introduce yourself and your business memorably.
Okay.
It starts with your name and your business name.
Okay.
Then you quickly establish what you do in terms that people already understand. Next, you highlight what makes you stand out.
Okay.
Your fame.
Okay.
It could be awards, big clients you've worked with, or impressive projects you've completed.
So something that grabs their attention and establishes your credibility.
Exactly.
Then you share what you're working on in the short term.
Right.
And finally, your long-term visit.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a lot to pack into a short introduction.
It is.
But it makes sense.
It does.
You're giving people a clear snapshot of who you are, what you do, and what you stand for.
And it's surprisingly versatile.
Okay.
You can use it for podcasts, on stage, even at networking events.
It's like a cheat sheet for making a strong first impression.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about something else Priestley mentioned that really caught my attention.
Okay.
The two types of opportunities.
Right.
Can you remind us what those were?
So he differentiates between bell curve opportunities and power law opportunities.
Okay.
Bell curve opportunities are those with limited growth potential, often confined to traditional industries and career paths.
Like working your way up the corporate ladder.
Exactly.
You might get a promotion.
You might.
But you're unlikely to become a multimillionaire.
Precisely.
Right.
Power law opportunities, on the other hand, offer the potential for exponential growth.
Okay.
They often involve leveraging technology networks or innovative business models.
So the key is to identify which kind of opportunity you're pursuing.
It is.
And adjust your approach accordingly.
Exactly.
And Priestley encourages entrepreneurs to seek out those power law opportunities.
He does.
Even if they seem risky or unconventional.
Yeah.
He argues that the rewards are far greater than playing it safe within the confines of a bell curve.
Absolutely.
But isn't that a recipe for burnout?
It can be.
Facing exponential growth can be all-consuming.
Yeah.
What does Priestley say about work-life balance?
Well, he's very candid about his own experiences.
Okay.
He admits that he had no balance for many years.
Right.
Dedicating himself entirely to building his businesses.
Okay.
He says it fulfilled all of the human needs at the time. But as his life evolved, he got married and had children.
Right.
He realized the importance of finding a more sustainable rhythm.
So there's a time for sprinting.
Yeah.
And a time for pacing yourself.
Exactly.
And he acknowledges that it's an ongoing process.
It is.
Constantly recalibrating.
Yeah.
And finding what works for you at each stage of your life.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Between ambition and well-being.
Right.
Speaking of ambition.
Yeah.
This makes me think of another point Priestley made.
Okay.
The shifting focus from labor and skills to intellectual property, media data, and software.
Right.
It's not about what you can do,
Yeah.
but what you can create
Yes.
and own.
He emphasizes building businesses that can be sold as financial assets,
Right.
generating wealth beyond traditional income streams.
So you're not just building a job.
You're not.
You're building something with real value
Yeah.
that can generate long-term wealth.
That's the key differentiator between the industrial age and the digital age mindset.
It's a powerful shift.
It is.
But it also raises a lot of questions.
Go on.
How do you even begin to build a business that can be sold.
Right.
Where do you start?
Well, Priestley breaks it down into a clear progression.
Okay.
He says it starts with moving from skilled labor to creating intellectual property.
Right.
Like writing a book, developing a course, or building a software program.
So package your knowledge and expertise into something tangible.
Exactly.
Something that can be licensed or sold.
Yes.
Then you layer on media, creating videos, podcasts, or articles that showcase your IP and attract an audience.
And then you move into data, building an email list, collecting customer feedback, understanding your market.
So you're not just creating content. You're strategically gathering insights to refine your offerings and build a community.
Especially.
And finally, you incorporate software, automating processes, creating systems, and leveraging technology to scale your business.
Exactly.
It sounds like a complex journey.
It is.
But it also feels incredibly empowering.
It is.
You're building a sustainable business that can run without you being constantly involved.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
And it's the path to financial freedom.
Right.
And long-term success.
This all sounds amazing.
Good.
But it also raises concerns about wealth inequality.
It does.
As more entrepreneurs adopt these strategies and build successful businesses, doesn't that create a bigger gap?
It potentially could.
Between the haves and the have-nots.
That's a valid concern, and it's something that Priestley addresses directly. He acknowledges that we're seeing a concentration of wealth at the top 10%. He shared some research showing that the top 1% control 15% of the available budget. And the next 9% have 45%.
So the top 10% have 60% of the spending power.
Yeah.
That's a significant imbalance.
It is. And Priestley suggests a new business model that's emerging in response to this trend. He calls it giving free value to the bottom 90% while focusing on creating premium products and services for the top 10%.
So you're attracting a wide audience with free content, but generating revenue from a smaller, more affluent segment.
Exactly.
And the 90% aren't just passive consumers.
No, they're not.
They're engagement sharing, comment, helps drive your content and brand to the top 10%.
Exactly.
It's a win-win. You're providing value to a broad audience while building a sustainable business model.
Absolutely.
But I'm curious, doesn't this approach perpetuate the cycle of inequality?
It's a good question.
Are we just reinforcing the existing power structures?
Well, that's a valid concern, and it's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Right.
Priestley acknowledges the ethical considerations, but he also believes that entrepreneurship, even within this model, can be a force for good. He argues that by creating value and empowering others, entrepreneurs can contribute to a more equitable and prosperous society.
So it's about finding that balance between profit and purpose.
Exactly.
Using your entrepreneurial skills to make a positive impact on the world.
Precisely.
And it's about being mindful of the potential consequences of your actions. Both positive and negative.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
It reminds us that entrepreneurship is not just about building businesses. It's about building a better future for everyone.
And that brings us to another crucial aspect of entrepreneurship in the digital age, the importance of mindset and resilience.
Absolutely.
Priestley is very open about the challenges and sacrifices that come with building a successful business.
He is.
He mentioned that one of the biggest horrors is that we were never trained for this.
We weren't, were we?
Our education system prepares us for the industrial age, not the digital age.
Exactly.
He highlights the clash between the old rules. Being a good worker, following instructions, and the new rules, being disruptive, taking risks, embracing uncertainty.
It's a mental and emotional hurdle for many people.
It is?
Yeah.
They're battling ingrained beliefs and societal expectations.
Yeah, they are.
He also points out that the pace of change is accelerating.
Yeah, it is.
We're dealing with platforms and technologies that didn't even exist a few years ago.
That's right.
It's a constant game of catch-up.
It is.
Which can be exhausting and overwhelming.
And he acknowledges that the entrepreneurial journey can be isolating and lonely, especially in the early stages.
Especially in the early stages.
Yeah, you're often facing rejection, uncertainty, and self-doubt.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
It's not.
But he also emphasizes the importance of community.
He does.
And support.
Yeah.
He encourages listeners to connect with each other, share their experiences, and learn from them another.
That's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive.
Exactly.
Creating a space for open dialogue, shared learning, and mutual support.
And it's about recognizing that you're not alone in this journey.
It is.
There are others who have faced similar challenges and overcome them.
They have.
It's about building each other up, celebrating each other's successes, and offering encouragement during setbacks.
Absolutely.
And that brings us back to one of Priestley's key principles.
Go on.
The power of environment.
Right.
This is one of my favorite takeaways.
Yeah.
It's so simple,
yet
so profound.
It is.
He suggests that even small changes to your environment, working in a different location, connecting with new people, joining a community, can have a significant impact on your mindset and your results.
Absolutely.
It's like hitting the refresh button on your brain.
Exactly.
And he encourages listeners to be proactive about seeking out those environments that inspire challenge and support them. He even suggests connecting with each other in the comment section of this video, using a waving emoji as a signifier.
I love that.
I love that.
It's a brilliant way to foster a sense of community and shared learning.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the importance of building a personal brand and giving away free value to the power of leveraging technology and data and the importance of finding your entrepreneurial sweet spot.
Absolutely.
We've explored the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship in the digital age and the importance of mindset, resilience, and community.
But most importantly, we've been reminded that each of us has a unique mountain of value to share with the world.
I agree. That question about the mountain of value has really been swirling in my mind. It's so easy to get caught up in the pursuit of what's next that we forget to appreciate what we've already accomplished.
It's like we're so focused on climbing the next peak that we don't even pause to enjoy the view from where we're standing.
We're so busy striving for more that we fail to recognize the abundance we already possess.
And that lack of appreciation can actually hold us back.
I think so.
When we don't acknowledge our own value, it's harder to share it with the world.
So how do we uncover this hidden mountain of value?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Where do we even begin to look?
Well, Priestley suggests starting by reflecting on your journey.
Okay.
Think about the skills you've developed, the experiences you've had, the challenges you've overcome, the connections you've made.
He encourages us to ask ourselves, what have I learned along the way? What unique perspectives did I bring to the table? What wisdom can I share with others?
It's about recognizing that our value isn't just defined by our accomplishments. It's also shaped by our struggles, our failures, and the lessons we've learned from them.
So it's not about bragging or boasting. It's about acknowledging the richness of our own experiences and recognizing that those experiences have shaped us into who we are today.
Exactly.
And once we've identified our mountain of value, it's time to start sharing it with the world.
Absolutely.
He talks about the importance of becoming a creator. Not just a consumer of information and resources.
It's about taking what we've learned and packaging it in a way that's accessible and valuable to others.
Whether it's writing a blog post, creating a video, giving a talk, or simply having a conversation with someone who needs to hear what we have to say.
The act of sharing our knowledge and insights not only benefits others, it also reinforces our own understanding and strengthens our own mountain of value.
It's like the more we give, the more we receive.
Exactly. And it creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same, to recognize their own mountains of value, and to share their unique gifts with the world.
And that brings us back to the importance of community.
It does.
Of connecting with like-minded individuals who can support us, challenge us, and help us grow.
Absolutely, because none of us can do this alone. We need each other.
We do.
To share our journeys, to learn from one another, and to celebrate each other's successes.
So let's continue this conversation in the comment section below.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about your mountain of value.
I'd love to hear it.
What are you standing on that you haven't fully appreciated? What unique skills, experiences, and perspectives do you bring to the table?
Let's connect.
Yes.
Support each other. And build our mountains of value together.
Remember, even small, consistent actions can lead to exponential growth over time.
They can.
So don't underestimate the power of your own unique journey.
That's right.
And the impact you can have on the world by sharing your mountain of value.
That's a powerful message to end on.
Yes.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From the importance of personal branding and giving away free value to the power of leveraging technology and data, and the importance of finding your entrepreneurial sweet spot.
Absolutely.
We've explored the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship in the digital age.
We have.
And the importance of mindset, resilience, and community.
I think so.
But most importantly, we've been reminded that each of us has a unique mountain of value to share with the world.
So go out there, embrace your journey, share your gifts, and keep climbing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing.
Keep diving deep.